growing up with two immigrant parents really taught me the value of putting 150% in as opposed to maybe 60 or 80%, because I can't really afford to even put in just 100. You know, I really am cognizant of the fact that being not only a woman, but being Black, I really have to do twice as much to sometimes get half as less. Okay. My name is Aliyah Salmon. I'm a textile artist and surface designer. I reside in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm currently making some large-scale tufted pieces in France. I was a weaver and an embroiderer, so I did some research and I discovered Oxford punch needles. I couldn't have imagined it blowing up to like this scale, but it just gives me so much more freedom to be able to create in a way that allows me to play with yarn and color without sacrificing as much of the time. I've been in love with yarn for as long as I can remember, and I feel so much more at home when I'm working this way. I'm so grateful to my mother for exposing me to different ways of making. I was always painting and drawing and working in different ways, but I owe her the world for putting that in front of me and allowing me to explore this entirely different way of creating images. So a lot of the ethos of my practice is reclaiming what would be deemed as women's work. And I think that women are the pioneers in all forms and mediums of art. I really do believe that, you know, women are the ones that hold modern art up, you know, with their own two hands. And I just hope at the very least my contribution to it all is just showing how the boundaries can be pushed with craft. Historically, women who wanted to be painters were subjugated into craft mediums, and they ended up producing some of the most stunning work to come out of that institution. Craft is really having a moment. Textile artists are really being celebrated in a way that I've never seen before, and I think it's really, as cool as it is to be almost at the forefront of that, it's really, you know, there isn't really a playbook for it. So anytime I start a new piece, I do extensive composition work. I draw it maybe 3, 4, 5 times, and then I give myself an outline, and I spend like 2 hours or so drawing it on both sides. I'm always working on the back of the piece. And then what's underneath right here is actually the front that everyone else will see once it's finished. And it just allows for a lot more textural experimentation. As soon as the background is done, I can jump into all the fun stuff. It's all about the end result, you know? I could do this much faster by just going and just doing it all in one texture, but that's so boring, you know? You kind of want to make this as fun and interesting and complicated to challenge yourself as possible, and I think my favorite way of challenging myself is trying to make yarn not look like yarn in these pieces. So this piece, I've of course had to tailor some of my work to fit the location and draw some inspiration from where we are. And so I love doing florals, I love doing still lifes, and I figured incorporating some wildflowers from the valley and some of the colors and just some of the beauty from where we are would be the best way to go about creating a new piece. I'm still kind of trying to figure out exactly what it is I want to do here, and I figured starting off simple, quote unquote, with, you know, a still life that takes inspiration from where we are is just the best course of action. I think what I'm attracted to is being able to just use my hands and allow tools to be more of an extension of my hands as opposed to a tool being a tool, if that makes sense. The tufting gun is such a powerful tool, and it's really democratized this craft for a lot of people. The Oxford punch needle is quite laborious, and it's a lot more time and effort that one would have to put into the piece, but I think that's what I'm so attracted to in the work. And I have a gun, I bought it, I tried it, I didn't really like it. I didn't really know how to reconcile the intervention of machinery in my practice. I really, truly believe that the biggest resistance we have is taking our time. And I think mass production, while it works for some, it's just not part of the ethos of my practice. Every day when I walk from Acorn Cottage up to the village, I've just seen more wildflowers than I ever get to see in New York. And I love florals, I love the colors, I love the shapes of florals. And I really just wanted to bring a little bit of that into my work and allow the inspiration that I keep feeling in my daily walks to really come through. I really, really love the fastness, the craziness, and a lot of the complicated colors, sounds, and sights of New York, and my work definitely feels a little bit more unhinged whenever I'm home. You have to price your work according to where you're going, not where you are. And if you undersell yourself, people will be looking to undervalue the entire medium. You know, I'm a Black woman without a safety net, and I'm doing this all with my two hands. I think I deserve a couple $1,000s per piece, especially if it's taking this long, and it took me a long time to really understand that. I'm always trying to have a functional, stable relationship with my work. I never want to keep viewing it through the lens of commerce and through the lens of production as much as I suppose other bigger artists have to. I think the most devastating thing that could happen to me is if I somehow feel that the art is no longer worth making with my own two hands.